Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we want to see the lecture number 5, excavating and lifting equipments. So an excavator is defined as the power driven digging machine. The major type of excavators used in earth moving operations includes hydraulic excavators or the member of the cable operated. The crane shovel family like shovels we call drag liners, hose and clamshells. They work in a cable operated. Dozers, loaders and scrappers can also serve as excavators, but they are mainly depend upon the hydraulics. So these machines consist of the following components. Let us see the one by one. The first is undercarriage. This is what we call as a undercarriage. This gives mobility to the excavator, and this may be mounted with crawler track or it might be wheel. Next comes superstructures. This is what we call superstructures. Superstructures with the operator's cabin will be there, where the operator sits here. This could transverse through 360-degree or fitted on a rigid frame. Next is, this is what called boom. Okay, hydraulic articulated boom and a dipper arm with a bucket. So excavators may be what mechanical or hydraulic types, or even sometimes it might be cable operated, along with hydraulics plus cable operated. Hydraulics excavators have more advantages. They can be fitted with various multiple purpose attachments for various earthmoving works. Most efficient action of the machine is that the hydraulic unit of action of the excavator, which directs what bucket teeth at their most efficient angle during the dipping operations. So this is the next one is face shovel or a power shovel. So how it operates, you can see that this is the where lower earth, this is the earth where the is more above the surface where the crawler is available. Okay, it operates the bucket in upward direction. So this is called as face shovel or a power shovel. So it operates from where? From flat surface, producing upward digging actions, excavating and filling the buckets as it climbs up. Okay, after the bucket is filled, its upper part swings around to dump positions where the bucket is emptied in waiting truck or on any kind of the stockpile is available. Thereafter it returns to its original position again and starts the next cycle of the excavation. It is capable of working in all where type of dry soils. You have to remember this. And the struck bucket capacity of the face shovel bucket varies around something around 0.38 meter cube to 3.5 meter cube, and they depend upon the size of the machines and the bucket, and its length varies around 7 meter to 5 meter. And this is the backhoe. This is how the line diagram looks like. This is primarily used for excavating material below its track level, and this is the above the track level, the face shovel, and this is the below its track level. And excavating of small and large pits, basements, sometimes large trenches, backhoe are generally mounted, but a small capacity equipment to have a wheel mounted or to add their mobility. Clear? And the backhoes are fitted with the buckets having a struck capacity varies somewhere around again 0.83 to same 3.25 meter cube as of the face shovel, and the corresponding digging depth capacity is from 5 meter to maximum of to 9.5 meter for the backhoe. Next is drag liner. The drag liner look like where it is majorly they are used in coal field and all, coal where the soft material can be dragged from the something very long distance. Okay, so I already sent you the diagram of the equipment in a group. You can check it once. So it is a rope operated boom fitted crane type machine, and the bucket is thrown into excavation area and the cable controlled hook is rotated so that the buckets get filled by scraping the surface, scraping in the sense like dragging it. If this is the machine you are having, it has the cable operated, it throws its bucket first and slowly it scrap. This is mostly used in a where it's already dig or a soft soil is available. So what it scraps the material here, take it away, surface to be excavated, and it is then used for the digging the below the ground levels, especially in loose soils or a marshy, and sometimes even it is used in under areas with a soft beds. And the drag line can operate where the depth approximately what 1/3 of its boom length for a broader sweeping, like larger length of the sweeping type of excavated work. And here the boom length varies from where 21 meter to 36 meter. So you can imagine how far it can reach, where in other two cases it's like 7 to 9 meter, and here then drag line it's 21 to 36 meter. And here the struck water, the bucket capacity is around again same like 0.38 meter cube to 3.06 meter cube. Check the diagrams of drag line in the whatever the video I sent you earlier. Okay, you can get the idea. And lastly is we call it as grab or a clamshell. It's same like what drag line. It is also rope operated boom fitted crane type machine that have a grab, or we can call it as a grab, or you can call it as a clamshell bucket. Basically it has a two bucket. This is how they look. What it throws the wherever the material it has to pick, okay, with the roof fitted, then the material it collected, then it closes it and takes it from the bucket. Okay, the grab bucket has interlocking teeth to penetrate loose soil, okay, and where the clamshell bucket has no teeth. These buckets are dropped with their side open, like open jaws, how you see on the soil to the grab bit. Then thereafter these whatever the jaws are closed by the roof machine prior to the picking it up. These machines are usually used in primarily like deep confined excavations such as shaft, wells or spoil heaps to remove. Okay, and the depth of the excavation can be again 1/3 of the boom length whatever it has, and the range of the size of the grab of the bucket and the length of the boom are similar to the same as a whatever the drag line you have. The length might vary around 21 meter to 36 for the boom length, and the grab is again 0.38 to 3 meter cube. Clear? And this table shows that the output of an excavating equipment for planning purposes and can be easily determined from the equipment output planning for the following table. What you can see here, you can see what different equipments here, like it has a type of equipments. This is what a diagram is shown. This is a face shovel, this is backhoe excavator, okay, drag liner, and this is how the clamshell looks like. Okay, you have to remember this table. Sometimes they give in a prompts too. This is the bucket size and engine. They given in yard per yard cube or in meter cube also, and these are the bucket struck capacities. Size capacity 0.5, okay, 0.38, 0.57, 0.76, 1.14 cubic meter, okay, and 1.53 this, and these are the engine capacities, okay, in horsepower. So you have to know this table. Maximum cutting for the face shovel, how much is going to be, okay, and this is the maximum digging for the backhoe or the I am trying to make it visible clearly. so they can take down the screenshot of that, or you can see the notes whatever I have provided. They given in a table excavator productions, which is helpful for your solving the problems. And these are the maximum digging, its depth, and the ideal output, how much is going to be there. Same thing with the drag line, same thing with the maximum. Here you have to remember this planning output and what are the corrections you are going to perform. So planning output, how you are going to get? Ideal output into the correction factor into the performance factor here, and for correction factor this is the table you are going to look after. So remember this formula, planning output norms is nothing but is equal to the ideal output into the correction factor and the performance factor. So here are the correction factors. So these corrections factors are equipment performance comparison for releasing to the type of equipment employed. For these equipments are face shovel, backhoe, drag line, and the grab, that is clamshell. And for soil digging, these are the multiplication factor: easy digging, medium digging, and hard digging. If you are having the swing factor, swing is nothing but rotating around. Here it is the swing factor. If the 45, what is the factor value you are going to take? If 60, then what are you going to take? And here you have the load casting factor, and this is the task efficiency factor. Clear? For task efficiency, have to output adjustment factor for the secondary task. You have to remember this. Clear? This is the end of the video. The next class we are going to solve the problems on this. So for this you have to go through the notes. There is clearly mentioned in a table. Remember those stuffs. Thank you for patience hearing.